Cue the music.
I'm just island boy. I'm just island boy. I'ma get cute white boy. You gonna get that done. I'm just island boy. I'm just island boy. I'ma get cute white boy. You gonna get that done. I'm just island boy. I'm just island boy. I'ma get cute white boy. You gonna get that done. I'm just island boy. I'm just island boy. I'ma get cute white boy.
Let's take a look at this, guys. Waiting for the stream to complete setting up. Thank you for hitting that like button, that share button while we get started. Definitely appreciate that, guys. And it looks like we are live. Welcome back to another episode of the Mind Your Biz morning show, or the Mining Market Signal. Tech Shinji is in the chat. We got some friends here live with us, guys. Thanks for saying hello. If you can share this one, great. It's a little bit later. It's actually kind of late in most people's work day, so definitely appreciate you being here to support if you can. If you're watching this after the replay, of course, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you're lurking, it seems we have got a lot of lurkers in the crypto space right now with the current markets. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button, make it explode, and then click the bell icon so you're notified when new live streams happen like this. I'm still working through the end of what I think is just the common cold. Yes, that still exists. I know it sounds crazy, ostentatious, maybe even a little bit unhinged for me to say a thing like that. It's kind of definitely controversial, but yeah, I think I just have a cold and it's working through me the way a cold normally does this time of year after my kids leave their Halloween candy out for too many weeks. And, you know, the wife and I have a couple of late nights watching old reruns of Star Trek. So, yeah. Guys, appreciate you being here live. Thanks for being subscribed. Let's jump straight into the Fear and Greed Index. Talking about why we think the market is so afraid right now. I don't know why just yet, but certainly it is obvious that it is very afraid. We've got a score of 33. It puts us firmly into the category of fear. We were at a score that was neutral for a little bit of time, and then almost a month, right? Pardon me. Almost a full month of really high greed scores in the Fear and Greed Index, which, if you're not familiar with it or you're just learning about it on this show, this is something of a sentiment bot or a sentiment machine learning algorithm that pulls a bunch of input from, or scrapes a bunch of data from Twitter and from Reddit to be able to analyze what people are thinking and feeling about cryptocurrencies, and in particular, Bitcoin and Ethereum. So the Crypto Fear and Greed Index is a phenomenal indicator of just what people are thinking and feeling about cryptos, not so much what they're going to do necessarily, but just a general, like, are they worried and fearful, or are they bullish and greedy? Both. So I think right now, oh my gosh, Tech Shinji is asking the hard-hitting questions in the comment section, which we'll get to in just a moment here, because I think you're on to something. It's very, very important. We'll get to it. Okay, we'll get to it. But yeah, guys, the Crypto Fear and Greed Index is a sentiment indicator. Throw your chat on screen. Do be on your best behavior because of that, guys. You don't need to super chat to be seen or to be engaged with on this show. We're going to stick to that for as long as we possibly can on this, on the live stream, certainly. Don't want our engagement to be pay to play. Just, you know, be a respectful person, ask good questions, and you'll get good answers here, I think, right? Be the mentor you wish you had. Hopefully, I can, you know, be on my best behavior as well and ask good questions of the audience and answer good questions as well. But Tech Shinji asks, the most important question of the day, which Star Trek is your favorite? Well, it's a good question there. Teaspoon Miner says, glad to have you back, Seth. Glad it's sorted. Appreciate that. Bernie says hello. Greg says, yay, missed your face. Jeremy De Jesus says, did I make it at the beginning? Sweet. Appreciate that, guys. I see a lot of lurkers on this stream. This has been a very, very interesting phenomenon recently. You guys noticing it too? Well, I appreciate it. Kai Oni is in the chat. Kai Oni, good to see you. He's throwing up the horns, guys. You can always throw those up, as well as the hash for Savage or the Savage Mine hashtags in the chat. We love promoting Savage Mine's channel still. It still does help his family. So let's jump back into our Fear and Greed Index, though, guys. We see a subtle bit of bounce. People got excited again, back to neutrality, and we're back in fear now. But let's take a look and figure out why that might be the case. Looks like, first off, airdrops, right? Airdrops always get people excited. Trust Nodes is running an article about this homeboy, Odell Beckham Jr. And I say homeboy, man, I don't know him. He doesn't know me. But everybody else knows him because he's a public figure. And apparently he is doing $1 million Bitcoin airdrop. That's right, because he started to take his salary in Bitcoin on the Cash App or through Cash App. Apparently, Cash App is going to be brokering that salary deal for Odell Beckham Jr. He's doing an airdrop to the community. So maybe that's in conjunction with Cash App. Maybe they're helping to fund some of that airdrop. Not totally clear exactly how that's happening. He's saying that he's giving back to the community, and frankly, for very high-profile celebrities and sports like athletes and public figures like Odell Beckham Jr., they work with a high enough salary that in terms of charitable giving and a tax strategy, stuff like this makes a lot of sense. So I don't really question it when somebody like this says, you know what, I'm going to do $1 million giveaway, and because it makes sense, like not just for for me in terms of my tax strategy. I can feel good about it too by giving back to the community, fostering adoption for Bitcoin, and helping fans, right? Like it's kind of in my opinion, it's a win-win-win. I really don't see any losers when there are news stuff like this coming out in the news, right? Like this is just a solid move, solid PR move on his part, solid PR move on Cash App's part, and it's going to get people excited. Hopefully it does help drag the sentiment back out from the dumps towards at least neutrality again, but we'll see. So that's first bit of news there, guys. Should be more bullish, I think, than we're expecting. Whoa! Oh my gosh, yeah, we got plenty of lurkers, guys. Do me a solid if you're lurking and you haven't subscribed yet. Hit that subscribe button. It helps out the channel so much more than you know. Definitely hit that subscribe button. We got a lot of Gem Hunter content coming out over the next several days. I realize that if you're in the United States or in Canada, that you may be celebrating Thanksgiving, or you may be celebrating some kind of family holidays over the next week or so. But just know we've got so much Gem Hunter and so much review content coming out over the next several days. You have to have notifications turned on if you want to be able to see it. And if you miss out on some of this, I promise you'll be upset at me. You'll be like, hey, Seth, why didn't you tell me? And I'll be like, hey, friend, I tried. Like, you just have to have those notifications turned on, though. Click the bell. Make sure you put on all notifications. All right, guys, jumping back into some of the news. Got the Olympus DAO mistake that allows a user to spend $50,000 to buy $1.5 million in OHM. Not good. Not good. They detail a bit of an issue here that has happened. So somebody actually did arbitrage the internal systems, the internals of the Olympus DAO. So they were able to get $1.43 million worth of OHM tokens when they shouldn't have gotten quite so many. This kind of arbitrage is what makes algorithmic stablecoins and algorithmic or synthetic assets so difficult to deal with. And we've seen this kind of an issue with Haven, right? The Haven protocol, they had that kind of a hack on their first attempt at creating the stable assets, the XUSD, and then their second attempt at issuing stable assets, they similarly got pinned by a kind of an internal arbitrage problem. It's a very, very difficult problem to solve. I'm just like, I'm not going to candy coat it. It's a hard problem to solve. And companies or projects that do help solve that problem in a meaningful way, I think they're worth every single Satoshi they raise. All right, so we've got Tech Shinji in the chat saying, hey, for those of us who aren't familiar, or it says, word for word says, for those of us that don't know, could you just give a quick review on what Gem Hunter is? So guys, first off, Kyoni is saying, I think it's a game. Hey, that's great. It's not like Candy Crush. It's not like an idle game on your phone, which by the way, Crypto Idle Miner back in the day was great. I haven't checked in on it in a while, but they told me they would add me as a character. I don't know if that ever happened. Fun games. But it's not a video game for your phone. It's not a mobile game, not an app. But Gem Hunter content or gem hunting content, especially in the midst of a bull run, means that we're finding really small undiscovered tokens like what we see in the portfolio side of this live stream and we call our junk drawer content. I mean, some of that stuff, like one man's trash becomes another man's treasure, right? So we'll find coins that most people would consider rejects, like the Flokis and the Shiba Inus of the world, and then go on to help make a few people a lot of outsized gains, like outsized returns in their initial investment. It's hard to predict this stuff. It's really, really hard to know what will pop off. And as you guys know, as per usual on this show, we are not issuing legal, financial, business, or other advice. What we are doing is trying to get exposure to these kinds of projects that we would normally not look at because we would think, nah, it's not strong enough fundamentals. But we cover those too, right? Like, hey, who's been talking to you about Flux for the last 3 years? Yeah. Who's been talking to you about Haven for the last 3 years and through more than one developer change? Yeah. Who actually interviewed their developers for you so you could ask them questions directly? Yeah. We do that stuff too. It's really, really important. In the middle of a bull run, though, we wind up seeing these really crazy outsized gains and outsized returns from some of these more speculative plays, though. It's so dangerous, right? Like, I can't stress that enough. It's so dangerous to overcommit capital to some of these things, right? To over allocate capital, spread yourself thin, or to risk money that you can't bear to lose in some of these more speculative meme coins and things like that. But there may be people who have that level of risk appetite. There may be people in the audience who are whatever. They've got $50 or $100, or maybe they do have $1,000 or more to put into one of these projects. And if that describes you, then I think personally, you would do well to keep an open mind and try to evaluate as many projects as you can. So that's why I do still make that content. That's why it's become such a focus for me. And I'm starting to look also, at several NFT projects as well that are asking me to look more closely at their platforms, including one that has partnership with some very strong fundamental, like traditional art houses. So there's all kinds of interesting stuff that's happening right now that if we only focus on the top 10 cryptocurrencies and their price movement, we would not be able to see. Now, as you know, I don't offer strong technical analysis. I don't pretend to be a technician. We have a chart going that we're just trying to, keep the pulse of as we go to make sure that crypto does, like Bitcoin doesn't go dead, right? It doesn't flat line or doesn't affect other cryptocurrencies. But that's not really the primary drive of the show. No, it's a sort of a crypto variety show, right? Where we talk about all kinds of things. The Gem Hunter content that I'm talking about, first off, has its own playlist here on this channel. So if you go to the channel and you look for playlists, you'll find it. But also, it's got that disclaimer where it's a very diverse basket of cryptocurrencies and tokens and NFTs and projects and DAOs and all kinds of stuff that you might not get exposure to if you're only looking at people who are trying to tell you how to overclock your GPU or are only trying to get you to buy more hard drives so you can mine Chia, or are only trying to tell you that Bitcoin's the only thing that exists, because clearly that's not true. Right? Those other things, I'm sorry, I'm being really, really silly. And my friends and peers are watching. I don't think it's a downer if you talk about Chia, right? Or Chia farming. It just wasn't for me. So I'm just saying I couldn't focus on that. That couldn't be me, right? I couldn't just focus on a couple of things. I like zooming out and paying attention to all the other stuff too. So that's why there's such a strong emphasis on the Gem Hunter content. And I'm not even kidding. I've literally got 5 videos lined up for you guys this week that you're going to love, and that will slow drip and be available on the channel while we're all, having our festivities with friends and family. I hope surrounded by friends and family, having a great, great time this Thanksgiving. So just giving you a heads up there that stuff it's in the pipeline. It's on the way. So yeah, imagine my shock yesterday when I was like, oh, channel, please show up. Like dashboard, please show up. I need to make sure that my audience sees this content because it's ready to go. But anyway, I just need to let you guys know that's happening. But jumping back into this main news cycle here, that's the gist of it. There's been a little bit of an arbitrage problem with the Olympus DAO, and one lucky user was able to leverage that to their benefit, walk away with over $1 million. $1 million. So it looks like we got people in the live stream chat trying to like shill stuff. You know what though? I don't know. Yeah, not gonna go for it. Whatever. Sinister Silverado has some really intense opinions going on in the chat as well. Gundy Stuff and Things is here. What's up? Good to see you, brother. I forgot you work from home, don't you? Yeah, like I should never be surprised when I see Gundy Stuff and Things in the chat. Jumping back in as well. We got open-minded Bitcoin. Hey, I really love that that name. That's really great. Open-minded Bitcoin is such a great way of looking at the markets. And Teaspoon Miner as well. Davs Moore, thank you for being here, Jeremy, and others as well. To appreciate those chats, guys. Those chats, guys. Those keep them coming, and we will respond to those as possible. As we can. Walt is also here. Says, "Hey man, new sub. Appreciate the content. Thank you so much. Appreciate you being here with us live." So let's take a couple of those little data points there, and also look at maybe why sentiment is low. And this is probably not what you guys expect, but I think it's really, really important for us to take a look at this. And it is Mr. Ty Lopez announcing a fork of Olympus DAO. I kid you not. Like, you can't make this stuff up. Almost to the day that somebody makes that hack and walks away with over $1 million worth of ill-gotten gains, Ty Lopez announces the USV Crazy Crypto launch plus a $3,000 giveaway. And it's totally just a fork of OHM that just literally got hacked on the same day as his launch. It's crazy. Dynamite Mining's in the chat, says, "Hi, buddy." Hey, thank you, Dynamite. I appreciate the outreach as well. Guys, so many kind words, so much help on Twitter. Thank you. Thank you to the GPU mining fam in particular. Guys, there is such a tight-knit community there. Y'all are getting me misty-eyed. It's amazing the amount of support that poured in the moment that I noticed that there was a problem yesterday. Really, this community is the best. It's the absolute best. You guys, you may have heard me say it before, but I'm not going to get tired of saying it. That really was dust in my eyes. Dust in my throat, too. If you were wondering. No, I wasn't crying. Maybe I'm going to. Coughing really hard. But guys, am I going to die on stream of the common cold? That might actually happen. Jeez. At least we'll have this. Hopefully this one doesn't cut out, so I've got something for insurance, right? They'll be like, "How did it go?" Whew. I know, right? I'm going full Gollum here. What the heck? Jeez. Yeah, okay. Welcome back to the stream. The coughing channel. All coughing. All day. But seriously though, guys, maybe it's because I was get belly laughing at this Ty Lopez thing. But this DAO that literally just got hacked, he went and forked right now. Unreal. Just unreal, the timing, right? Where it's like, knowledge. I'm going to show you how to fork the best cryptocurrency. It's definitely Olympus DAO. Right, Mr. Ty Lopez. Noted. Olympus DAO for the win, for the ultimate hacks here, I guess. Whew. My gosh. So let's look at our Bitcoin chart, guys, before I keel over. That's the funny thing. My lungs feel great. Every other part of me feels great. I feel coherent, no longer feverish. I did have a pretty gnarly cold there for a minute, but I'm back. So we got the BTC USD chart here. Our chopsticks failed to see this, failed to predict this was a downward channel, broke out past, a downward trend, broke out past the channel that it was trading in before, the above $59,000 mark, and we are now currently at $56,000. Now, is this the sort of thing that I view as as a strong buying signal? No, not necessarily. I mean, I'm not going to flip my my auto buys back on, my DCAs back on yet. I was very happy with my DCAs down here, right here. This was actually my signal to cut off my DCAs. So I enjoyed profit just from my fiat to Bitcoin purchases up in this area. And then, of course, any other cryptocurrencies that I may have been mining or may have been acquiring in other ways and wanting to flip into Bitcoin, I've actually held off. I've held off on those as well, kind of hoping for a return to this range here, somewhere in the 50s. Now, people are saying, well, just remember, when you look at the fractals, we could always go back to $6,000. I don't know about that. Hey, we've got Musab. Is it El Naim? Musab, thank you. He says, "Mind your biz, my man," and throws up the horns. Good to see you in the chat. But guys, we've got this downward trend. And where she stops, nobody knows. We could be seeing a reversal right now. I don't know. Looking at the MACD, we may already be seeing a bit of a convergence happening right now, with that histogram kind of shortening the intensity or the amplitude of that right there. I know, guys. Gundy's dropping some knowledge bombs there. If you are watching live and you're not just a lurker, hit that thumbs up. And if you are not subscribed, make sure you smash the button. I mean, whatever. And then slap that bell. Slap it. All right. So we're back here on our chart, guys. I'm going to update that. I think this downward trend looks just fine. We could potentially see this reverse, though. It looks like MACD is already starting to converge again. So we could see a convergence and then flipping into bullishness again. But man, I don't know. This ain't my day job, right? I don't read charts for a living, and I don't peg a whole lot of my value on trades, right? Certainly not high frequency trades. So we're kind of doing this just to be aware of what the chart says, just to pay attention to and respect the fact that there are traders out there who are going to make this stuff move. Shout out to Crypto Wendio. I think she gives phenomenal charts, does phenomenal charting for the community there. And I'm always very, very pleasantly surprised when she's like, yeah, you can totally come back on my show again. So yeah, we went back on last week on Friday. Fractal Breaks is in the chat saying, falling wedge, Bitcoin 4-hour candles. Okay, cool. Jason Pop, I cracked my phone screen on that thumbs up. Heck yeah. That's what I like to hear. Don't worry, crypto will replace it at some point. Phones in general. I don't mean it's going to actually buy you a new phone. I mean, like, we will just make phone calls through the blockchain. All right, guys, let's get back into this chart. Leave it exactly as is. Stefan Summit is also in the chat. Guys, thanks for... thank you also for... You gotta be kidding me. Please tell me that I've got some data going through. Come on. And it looks like we've got... Hey, are we back? We're back. Okay, it looks like we've got a little bit of instability in the data stream there, which is kind of weird. I don't have anything else going on in my network. But moving on from our chart here, let's take a look at DeFi Llama. Guys, this is a big part of the show. I like paying attention to what's happening on DeFi Llama. It's been such an important part of like a daily check-in or a weekly check-in. Yeah, I apologize. On my streaming dashboard, it said that it was losing connection. It was not as strong as it could be. So thank you guys for bearing with me. I wasn't sure what was happening there. DeFi Llama, however, is a phenomenal tool. It shows us how many different smart contract networks have been running in a way that we would call DeFi. And in September of 2020, it was not that many. Now, fast forward about a year, and we've got dozens. So Ethereum, of course, is at the top of that list with over 300 protocols listed on it. Binance has now over 170 protocols. Solana has over 30 at this point. Avalanche is nearing the 70 mark, and it's coming up fast. Very, very fast. The market cap and TVL are growing on Avalanche quite rapidly. However, there have been some growing pains with Avalanche. That's right. As a layer 1 protocol, people are always saying, oh, look at how much faster it is than Ethereum. It's so much better than Ethereum because it can do this many transactions per second. But then users jump on board. They start to really push the limits, and then it slows down. We saw the same thing with Solana as well, where the validator network had to be restart because for hours it was shut down by whatever that redlining point was of, I guess, like 400,000 TPS, which was obviously junk data. It was obviously an attack from third parties. So you can like it or love it, but you can't really hate Ethereum for its transactional throughput because it does just kind of work. It doesn't break that often. The last time that it did break in a meaningful way was because node operators, right, they were not updating the software on time. Geth had an update, and they didn't update. It was that simple. But networks like Avalanche, right, you're starting to see like, oh no, fees are going up higher. Well, that's what happens, right, when there are more transactions being pushed through, and then the value of the coin goes up. Well, the relative value of the last gas fee you paid also went up. So if you've paid like 15 full AVAX in gas fees over your full career, right? Your DeFi career on Avalanche. And then the price of AVAX goes up. You're going to be like, oh no, I'm out 15 full AVAX, whatever they cost, right? It makes sense, right? Like Bitcoin maxis are always telling us that 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin. Well, the same is true of all coins and tokens. 1 Avalanche equals 1 Avalanche. So if you've paid 1 full Avalanche in fees and 1 full Avalanche goes to $2,000, you're going to be kind of salty, right? It is, yeah. It is, you're going to be pretty salty. Kai Oni says, I gave up, moved to Polygon at last. I'm with you. Polygon is getting it done right now. Plus, they've got the Hermes integration, ZK rollups as being part of their ecosystem, as well as a DAO being implemented. So while they may not have launched flawlessly or perfectly, they're a lot like Ethereum. They're getting it done, right? It's good enough for each new phase. And so for the next phase, as we see greater decentralization paired with greater throughput, also with ZK rollups, I think it's going to be really hard to beat, guys. I know I don't like to try to pick winners or losers, but I do have a lot of strong confidence in Polygon's ability to continue with the next phase. I think they're going to be a very strong contender. That's just my feeling on it. But in this list, guys, you see also that when it comes to the number of protocols, when we sort by the number of protocols, it's Ethereum, Binance, then Polygon in third place. There are more other projects. It's not just my opinion. More third-party projects that have aligned themselves with Polygon. Not the least of which is Coinbase, OpenSea, Animoca Games, Rev Racing, and many, many others. There are many, many NFT games and NFT platforms that are jumping on board with Polygon because of the low fees to mint. But guess what else? Now we've also got unstoppable domains. You want that .crypto domain? You want that .blockchain domain? You can register it on Polygon. And in fact, they will pay the fees now based on the current market rates. Unstoppable domains will totally pay the fees if you register on Polygon. So it's not just me saying it anymore, guys. And it was never just me saying it, right? Like I actually came kind of late to the party, even though I guess last year, Nicole and I, we did a review on Polygon when it was Matic, but I don't think we could have imagined how well adopted it would be at this point, right? It took a lot of other people working really hard to build something that scaled. And here we are. And it's scaled pretty well, I think. But it's not just me saying it. 117 other projects think that outside of just Polygon, right? So over 100 of them. So yeah. Wow. Whew. Guys, seriously, I apologize for the number of coughs. I don't like doing that on camera. And when I have edited content, these will all be out. So I apologize during the live stream. I'll still kind of present with this stupid cold. Almost done. Almost on the other end of it. Just kind of annoying when you're recording audio. T-Bone Wiz, rip. I know, right? You never can tell. It's my last live stream. I don't want to make it weird, guys. I don't want to make it weird. I think, yeah, it's funny because I also had like a bad flu in like January of 2020. You do the math. I don't know. I'm pretty confident this is just a cold, guys. I'm pretty confident my kids just left too much Halloween candy out, and I let myself give in. My discipline dropped. But yeah, when you do this metric, Avalanche is moving up the ranks by way of protocols that are supported. It's the TVL that's much higher than Polygon right now by about almost 3 times as much, but that can be fixed. And the current market cap to TVL ratio is pretty close on the 2 of these. Could be that that's just sort of a bit of an issue there as well. Gundy's Stuff and Things says live is the best. Hey, I appreciate that, man. I like it when everyone's here live. We're having fun. Guys, if you're here and you're lurking, if you haven't been subscribed, because I see a few of you out there, hit the thumbs up and then be subscribed. Yeah, appreciate that. Myself is also saying just the body detoxing. Hey, I appreciate that myself. I've also got a little bit of like purified water here with some artificial ingredient and alcohol-free elderberry syrup. It's so good. But I'm probably a little low on electrolytes. I probably need to add like whatever, some potassium salt or something. C'est la vie. We'll fix these problems next time. But right now, yeah, at least staying hydrated. So yeah, guys, that's our lineup of DeFi protocols. I still think that Polygon is a really, really great platform to use, a really, really great scaling solution to use. Now, Solana is still in that third spot because of that TVL, but you see Avalanche is coming up on it pretty fast, and they're both gaining on Binance Smart Chain. Binance Smart Chain apparently is also going to be shutting down its bridge very, very soon, or its public decentralized bridge. Apparently, there's talk or rumors that the only way to bridge off of Binance Smart Chain after that point will be to go through Binance. Now, the world being what it is, there are other bridges, right? There are other decentralized bridges, and many of us are just going to continue to use those if we have any assets on Binance Smart Chain that we need to continue to work with. That's my plan. You tell me yours in the comments section. Or do you have any assets on Binance Smart Chain? What are you going to do if it comes to that? Let me know. Sinister Silverado says, should I go ahead and get my .crypto address? That's a tough one. So I've got one of the mineyourbiz addresses over there, and because I don't find them particularly precious, I'll just put it that way. And then my own personal name has been reserved by Unstoppable Domains. I'm kind of flattered, but they reserved all of my own full legal name. They reserved all of those for me if I want those. But here's the catch. If you have a brand name, or if you're, a known personality in the crypto space, they charge you a convenience fee of $100 per address above and beyond the usual price to have reserved those for you. So I could get all 12 of the names, different top level domains that they have reserved for me. I'm just going to spend over $1,000 for their convenience, right? It's all kind of weird. Jason Pop says, MineYourBiz, old news story now, but thank you for saving me from the Chia hype 4 to 6 months ago. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Hopefully, some of this talk about Polygon has helped some of the GPU miners now to be able to save fees. And if you guys haven't seen Serpent's great video on how to do that, and then take your earnings over to QuickSwap for doing DEX moves, then I think maybe you should. It's really, really good content. Myself says, I think .FENS domains will be more desired. I think you're probably right. Yeah, I think that's probably true. I think right now, Unstoppable Domains, though, they've built a brand, and they've got a lot of different, what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of business partnerships that have put them in a good position in the blockchain sort of ecosystem, but it's not the same. To your point, it's really not the same. But .FENS domains, man, those are pricey. And I mean, you're talking about as opposed to there being a $100 security fee for having there be a very well-known public figure's name, you're going to spend $100 in gas per individual transaction. And if it's a very complex smart contract, you might pay more, right? I don't know. Let's see. Hey, we got Chump Chains in the chat saying, glad I got all of mine, the wife's, and Misfit Mining before they charged that BS convenience fee. Dude, right? Yeah. Well, I'm sure now with your YouTube channel, Chump Change, I'm sure they would. I'm sure they have all the rest of yours. I haven't checked recently. We could check that live, actually. It'd be a lot of fun. But then MC says ENS. Omi Wan, the homie, says, my man Seth is the truth. These scaling tokens are way too high. He says Phantom, Harmony, and Rose. Nice. John Germain is in the chat as well. Appreciate you guys being here live. Thank you for that. Jump over to our GPU mining profitability chart over at whattomine.com. We're going to use the base configuration here, guys. Ooh, hold on. Shadowy supercoder time. Sorry. Shadowy GPU miner time. There we go. Get the hoodie up. Get the hoodie up because we're getting your profits up. Let's do this. Okay, GPUs tab. Barry Merritt chimes in, says $189 in gas for a smart contract on ETH right now. Good Lord, no. Stop the insanity. You guys remember that lady back in the day? Yeah. Yeah, the old dietitian lady. Anyway, RTX 3090. Oh, MC is saying, who got that A6000 though? Oh, I wish I knew. The A4000 is looking pretty solid. Everything that I'm reading about it is just great. I mean, single slot, could throw it back on some of these old server motherboards that I've got here that are multiple slot, have the onboard PLX chip and all that. Be very, very cool. But the A6000, don't know if anybody's got those yet. Currently top of the list, though, is the 3090. Let me throw that 14-cent power in here so we get a better sense for how much everything is going to cost across averages there. Tyone says, I got the Quadro 4000s, and Caveman Mining just posted a video. Nice. Coincidence? No, I don't think so, man. There's no such thing as coincidence. All right, GPU profit ranking. Top is still the 3090. ETH and Flux are just killing it. The Flux parallel assets are going to expand in their rewards soon. So just be aware of that, guys. You have to do your own calculations here. Tech Shinji said, I heard 3090. Yes, 3090 is still top of the list. But here's the thing, guys. Let's be very, very realistic about this. If you didn't see my video talking about how to compare the relative values in terms of hash per dollar per watt, please go watch that video. It's so important because the 3090 looks great here, right, in this context. But you then take it and compare it to other GPUs and then how efficient they are versus how much they cost, and it's a whole different story, right? A 3090 that you pick up for almost $3,000 is not a great deal. It doesn't matter that it's on a list like this, hashing so hard. Like, let's just do some table napkin math right now, right? So just under $8 of daily profit. Let's pretend like that's all profit, right? Almost $8 of profit alone for a card that costs almost $3,000. Go to the very bottom of the list, very bottom. R9 380. I mean, this is a dumpster dive special. You can't even buy it. You can't even, like, you probably can't even pick this up with money right now, right? Or if you can, you're looking at like 150 bucks, 25 cents. Or let's go for something a little bit more common, right? That we see out in the wild more frequently. So let's see, good bang for the buck. So I'm just going to say the RX 580 8 gig, because you're going to wind up buying it for a little bit less than many of the other cards that are below it. Not all of it. No, there's also the 1060 6 gig, which is an older generation card. That's all I'm getting at. They're used cards. So you're not going to get them brand new. But let's go with that 8 gig Polaris card at almost $2. We're rounding up again. Does it cost 25% of the RTX 3090? No, it doesn't. Sorry, I gave away the ending there. It doesn't cost 25%. It costs less than 25% of the RTX 3090. So it's a pretty great value. I mean, it's a beautiful card. The resale is high, and you have to run all of those different numbers yourself and consider all those different factors yourself and then make your own decision there. But for mining, I do love looking at a slightly older generation and squeezing the efficiency out of it and then making sure that the hash per dollar per watt has a really, really stellar score compared to the rest of them. That makes more sense to me. Guys, tell me your methodology, your approach. Are you doing more traditional system building anyway? Like, are you building gaming rigs and stuff? Because if you are, like, then why wouldn't you? But what is your strategy there for mining specifically? And for anything that's like, yeah, that is a, that's going to go into mining facilities or a small mining farm. But guys, top of the list is obviously that 3090. But again, we did kind of like round up there. Our highest profitability coins are Ethereum, Flux. We got Ergo on some of our HBM cards. We've got Firo hitting the list as well. And then Swap showing up. Again, be very, very careful with your profits there. Please don't wreck that, the network. And Raven showing up as early in a stacked ranking as the 3070 Ti. Not showing up much more after that point, though. The other ones are. Conceal is showing up for the LHR cards. Let's see. Yep, a couple of the LHR cards. And an Ethereum Classic for the 2070 Super is showing decent enough profits that it's there, but really it's ETH all day there. And anything else that's a surprise? Nope, not much. It really does seem like the same usual suspects, guys. We have these strong fundamentals that those of us who are into GPU mining, we're very much familiar with these projects at this point. What we stopped seeing is Equilibria on the leaderboard here. It's probably in the top 5 or somewhere, but it's not the top 3 for most of these cards right now. We do have the other usual suspects, though. It's crazy that Vert Hash is showing up again for that R9 3080 or 380. And then Beam for the R9 Fury. Also, kind of interesting to see. Could be that we're seeing high Beam profits on our other HBM cards as well. But yeah. Bernie says, looking at this, Flux is the way to go. Hey, I wouldn't blame you for thinking that. Personally, and you guys have asked me on this show, I don't mean to like talk down Ravencoin. I know it sounds like I am. Beautiful community, really, really nice, well-meaning people. Just for me, if I had literally one unit to mine with and it could mine either Raven or Flux, yeah, I'd be swayed to mine Flux personally. And then to hold my mining profits into a node and then, yeah, and then run a Flux node with the collateral. That's the direction that I would go with it personally, but that's just me. So you guys, you got to make your own decisions, but that's the direction that I would head with it. Ravencoin has just not convinced me otherwise, even though it's got a lovely community. It's like Litecoin, right, guys? Litecoin has an amazing community. It really does. You go back east and the Litecoin advocates are like rabid. They're super cool too. And they're willing to spend their Litecoin, right? And the fees are really low. And a lot of that stuff makes sense. You check a lot of those boxes and Litecoin looks really good on paper. But then but then it's Litecoin, right? It's like, it's not Bitcoin and it's not Ethereum or a smart contract, right? And it's not really a Mimblewimble coin. It's not really privacy oriented. And it doesn't really run like OmniLayer coins very well, even though it's kind of supposed to, but it hasn't yet. And there's all the stuff that it almost does, but then it doesn't do. That's Litecoin. And Ravencoin to me is like the Litecoin of GPU mining coins right now. There's nothing fundamentally wrong with it. I'll put it that way. But there's not enough right with it that I'm like, oh my gosh, it's all Ravencoin for me. Heck yeah. Ravencoin for life. Nah, not me. But guys, again, I don't claim to be able to pick winners and losers here. And you're going to have different concerns. And you know, some of us still have bags of Ravencoin. Like you've heard me say it multiple times. I regret that I didn't sell more Ravencoin when it was above 1,400 Satoshis per coin. I would have been much happier with the Raven that I did mine had I done that. And now I'm kind of like, what's my exit strategy? What do I want to do with this? I don't really know. I don't have a lot of clarity about what direction I want to go with Raven. That's just me. Tell me in the comments though, guys, what do you think about Raven? Are you a supporter? I'm not going to make fun of you if you are. I mean, not to your face, but like, are you a supporter? Are you a detractor, right? Are you like, oh, Ravencoin isn't good for nothing? It's not good for nothing, obviously. But maybe you think it is. Tell me in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are about Ravencoin and, you know, and the assets on top of it and the restricted assets and the NFTs that people are trying to build and the NFT marketplaces, whatever else, like the roadmap. Tell me what you think about Ravencoin, guys. I'm not here to just talk to you about what I think. All right, guys, that's our profitability for GPUs. Take a look at our portfolios. TechShinji chimes in and says, I think Raven will be a very good long-term holding coin. You know, I think you could probably validate that. Yeah, I think there probably will be strong fundamentals for a long time. Chump Change says, once it halves, we'll see. I'm gonna hold it till then personally. TechShinji also says confirmed will be $10 after the halving next year. JK, LOL, not financial advice in somebody else's live stream comments. Yo, it's on the screen though. Here's the thing, TechShinji, it's now baked into my video. You can't take it back, even if you delete the comment. Somebody can download that snippet and like replay it to like a Rick Astley song and send it to you in DMs over and over every day. Use a bot to DM you your own words till the day you die. They'll be like, TechShinji said $10 after the halving. Why? Why would he say that? He lied to me. I mean, I love your face, TechShinji, but really. So guys, Sinister Silverado says, I'm holding Raven till it's $10. No, it's not bad though, guys. I mean, I love that you're throwing out targets though. That's the thing. Like if you've got a target, that's great. If you got a plan, at least even if it's not like a final target, just a plan, that's great. Yeah, the plan's going to be a big deal. So sounds like a few people are looking for a halving event, checking to see how the profit holds up or how the value of the coin holds up, and then maybe divesting some then. Cool. That's great. All right, jumping back into our portfolio though, guys, we got our GPU mining portfolio. Flux is still at the top of the list. Last 24 hours, we're looking pretty good, and the total portfolio value is still up. Flux is, it's dipped below that 1,000% profit mark, but it still just looks great, guys. I mean, just phenomenal there. It's up almost 1,000% still, so $1,000 put in end of May, you'd still have like almost 11,000. It's pretty amazing. And had you taken profits not that long ago, it would have been very easy to divest almost $10,000 of profit from just $1,000 initial investment in Flux, or holdings in Flux if you were mining it. So great day for GPU miners there. Safecoin Equilibria are the second and third places, and they're both ahead of Ethereum by a significant margin, actually. Almost 100% more profit in Equilibria than there is in just mining Ethereum, straight up. So pretty cool. So even though there's daily profits that are higher on Ethereum than some of these others day to day. So, you guys figure that out. I mean, that's half the reason that I've been suggesting that we take some of our payouts in wrapped Ethereum on Polygon, and then we swap. We swap for some of these other assets. Like, shout out to the Flux team for adding support for Polygon-based Flux as a parallel asset, or not a parallel asset, but I think a bridged asset. Be really, really cool to mine at Ethereum daily profits, but get Flux with the fees of Polygon. Are you guys following me yet? We're getting this now? That's what I'm looking at here. I think that's the power play, or has been recently. We're looking at historical data, so moving forward, can't say for sure that's going to happen again, right? Like, lightning doesn't often strike twice, and certainly never in the same place, so... Bottom of this list, though, guys, biggest losers, we've got BitTube and Ethereum Classic. Ouch! You hate to see it. But BitTube is down really bad compared. It's just Ethereum Classic is down at over 20%. So that's why. That's what we're seeing. I think there's a bit of doubt also. Some people are saying, oh, well, Ethereum Classic is the real Ethereum. You got like, people in the dev space who previously were supportive of Ethereum walking away, and just drama. We're not going to engage in that today, guys. Hard drive mining portfolio, it's up over the last 24 hours, but it's still overall in the negative. It's in the red. Top profits are in storage. Top losses are in Chia. We're still below $150 per coin. It's just, it's sad to see it down there. It's just not moving. CPU mineable coins, guys. Very, very top gainer. Still, Raptorium. Still, I mean, it's still sending you postcards from the moon. Like, seriously, if you missed it, bummer. There is Raptorium staring right back at us like, hi, world. Like, its hello world was sent to us via, a reflected light message that still took like 5 minutes for us to receive, right? Because it was like through the vacuum of space. Still took that long with zero atmospheric interference. We were still like, what just happened? Yeah, it's just telling us after the fact that it's awesome. That's what Raptorium is doing right now. So Epic Cash is number 2, almost a 900% increase since we had that entry in the portfolio. Wasn't expecting it, but yeah, it's intense. TechShinji says, I think it's time for coffee. Time for coffee? Like a coffee colonic? Like a coffee enema? It's supposed to be really healthy. Scrolling down the list, guys, our biggest loser is WowNero and Veriscoin. It's a bummer. WowNero might not do very well during this bull run, but I imagine that we'll see it return to profit after we go back into the bear market. Why would I say that? Because it's a testnet coin and because it's made for builders. And so they're going to continue to build after we get into the bear market. They always do. So I'm not going to be shocked to see WowNero kind of like pop back up in the rankings after this bull run is over. That said, is it a long-term hold coin? I don't think they think it's a long-term hold coin. They're always happy that it has, any value at all. So take that with a grain of salt, but I do see it kind of performing better, at least in a stacked ranking sense, after the bull run's over. Moving from CPUs, though, guys, take a look at our ASIC mineable coins. Let's see. Yeah, all these guys are like, oh, coffee. Yes, please. Doge Lord coffee. Haha. Yep, zero to Gollum. Once again. Barry Merritt says, RTM mining difficulty has gone up considerably. Yields are down mining. That's too bad, guys. That really is. That's just too bad. Do you think it's because of the GPU mining that has jumped on network? Do you think that the GPU miners are now optimized enough that they've displaced CPU miners? Tell me in the chat. I haven't followed it super, super close. And I'm bummed, though, because I know some people got in and they were happy with their profits. But yeah, I think that, yeah, if you're just jumping into mining Raptorium right now, you probably missed the bus. It's too bad. So here's ASIC mining coins. Go mining token is still top of the list, even though it's not strictly mineable. Bitcoin is our close number 2. Zcash has gone up in profit, but that's likely because recent pumpamentals, right? There's been some partnerships announced. People are very, very excited about Zcash. I'm actually getting people jumping into my old Zcash content where I've said anything negative and trying to like troll me like, oh yeah, who's an idiot now, idiot? Ha, you're an idiot. Like, dude, I just have an opinion that's different from yours. I didn't call you an idiot. Like, but whatever. So Zcash is, it's popping up. It's coming up in terms of its price. And that is going to affect the profits of anything that you already mined, right? So number 3 spot there, and it's finally back in the profit. It was not in the money for a little while, but so is Nervos, Horizon, and Litecoin to a very, very light extent. Haha, pun intended. Bottom of this list, biggest loser is Pirate Chain. Still down bad, over 55%, but under $2 if you're interested in a value buy, and if you believe it's got the potential to maybe come back up a little bit. There's some people preaching doom and gloom, some people forecasting a total bottoming out of the market and saying like, oh no, plan B, the trillions, you know, the rainbow chart and the stock to flow chart, it's broken, right? Like, oh no, our chart table, it's broken. I've been listening to that too much, guys. Seriously, having teenagers, your entire life is basically like a rerun of TikTok memes all the time. Please send help. But yeah, guys, Pirate Chain is down bad. If you think that it's going to work, great. But some people are saying that stock to flow for Bitcoin is a little bit off and that it might not be quite right. If that's true, right? If that's true, that stock to flow is not going to follow like a perfect rainbow chart curve like we've been told it should on this cycle with the exact same fractals and having it like, oh, it's an order of magnitude every single time. Like I've come to believe that after each halving that we see Bitcoin pop up by almost an order of magnitude and that we should see 6-figure Bitcoin at some point soon. But I don't think that it's on a schedule. I don't think that it's like, okay, well, it's the halving. So, you know, Bitcoin, do your thing. I mean, you know, gosh, what, like in 10 more months, over 100K, obviously that's programmed. It's not programmed. These are relative values. And the other markets, like if the dollar were to deflate or inflate rather more, if we knew that we had legitimate inflation, not just that the cost of goods and services were going up in markets, but if we could like definitively show with buying power of $1, like get definitive comparative proof, right? From financial institutions finally admitting it. Right? Instead of us just seeing things inflate at the point of sale buying groceries, because they're trying to avoid calling inflation. But if we saw them actually just call it inflation, then we could see like very, very quickly where it's like, oh, actually, you know what? $56,000 Bitcoin like actually is $100,000 Bitcoin. Like if a $2 loaf of bread is currently costing $5 in the market, then $50,000 Bitcoin really probably should be $100,000 Bitcoin, right? So I'm calling shenanigans there. That's all I'm saying. So we could already actually be staring at really high, like well-priced Bitcoin, but on paper, it's only priced at $56,000. So all this stuff, like it's all subjective. Like we're making the rules up as we go, guys, because of the value of this little thing, this little dumb symbol, the S with the line through it. You know, like it's a little bit crazy. The game that we're playing, right? Do you ever stop to think about that? Like, oh my gosh, what is this stuff actually worth? Like these, I mean, I don't even carry these anymore. When I get change, it's like it all goes back into like a little, you know, it's on the desk or it's in a drawer or it's, you know, it's left in the cup holder in the car or whatever. Like, do you even carry this stuff anymore? I don't even know what's worth anymore. It says it's worth 25 cents. So they're saying, but who knows? Is it really worth 15? Ugh. it's a scary prospect, or 12 and a half, I guess. It's a scary prospect to think that, yeah, that we're actually carrying, like, that it is already happening, and that the money in our hands, like the fiat in our hands, is already becoming worthless, like week after week, month over month. So, yeah, I'm looking at some of the stuff and taking it with a grain of salt. I think you should too. Not financial advice. As you know, I'm going to red screen that because that was quite a diatribe, and yesterday was scary. I'm not going to lie. Yesterday was a little bit creepy, guys. It's good to be back. But I wasn't sure if they were going to pull a rabid mining on me and make me like fight for it for 3 months, or if it was going to be a week, or, you know, end of the day when I got that email, I was like, I thought for sure, seeing the title of the email, the subject of the email, I thought for sure they were going to just tell me like, oh yeah, we reviewed it and you're out of here. Pack your bags. You're done. There's never going to be a Mind Your Biz channel ever again. I was, you know, sweating balls, guys. It was like not good. And yes, that was an intentional conflation of the two phrases, sweating bullets and tripping balls, because I don't do drugs, so I can't trip balls. And bullets are too precious, so I can't sweat those. I was sweating balls. Don't make it weird. This, make it a thing. Get it trending on Twitter. Hashtag sweating balls. So I was nervous. I'm still kind of nervous. And I don't want to be censored all the time, you know? But like, I'm a little bit concerned. So yeah, I'm just going to walk that back a little bit, guys. Take it with a grain of salt. When you see any of these prizes, it's not a dry cough. I guess there's that, right? It is productive. So if I got to do the Gollum thing, at least clearing out my lungs. So there's that. Myself says I have some pre-1965 coins just in case silver becomes super valuable in the future. That's not bad. Teaspoon Miners getting the ball rolling. Hashtag sweating balls. Nice. So, yeah, guys, I'm just saying. Uncle Seth is a wizard, and he arrives and says precisely what he intends to. When he intends to, and what he intends to say. Oh, even if he has to backpedal a little bit and explain. Like explaining the punchline of a joke. FPGA mining portfolio. It's up over the last 24 hours, and the total portfolio value is up as well. Kadena is our biggest winner here, guys. Huge win, guys. Huge congrats to the Kadena team as well. If you guys are going to Miami for the Decentral event, I just got an email from them. There's going to be one of these after parties, because there's like a bajillion after parties. Kadena's throwing one, apparently. I didn't even know, but I got an email about it. So who knows? I may have to attend. We'll see. I mean, unless it's a swimming party. Like a pool party? Because then I definitely have to attend. Just cause it's a pool party. You never say no to a pool party. Just don't eat 45 minutes before. Or within 45 minutes. Because you cramp up and make a fool of yourself. Bottom of the list is Nervos Network, only because we don't have an entry there. But Digibyte is our biggest loser in this side of the portfolio. 34% down. It's sad. It's a sad thing to see. Teller, Nimic, and Handshake are all in the red. 0x Bitcoin is the only one, ironically, also in the money. Proof of stake smart contracts, guys, before we jump into those, while those are loading up, if you are lurking, because we keep getting a lot of lurkers, don't just lurk. Subscribe. It's free. Really. And you'll feel better after you make something blow up. It's science. Click the bell icon also so you know when things are going live, like this. And when we upload that great Gem Hunter content, guys, we got so much good stuff for you. But this proof of stake smart contracts, Solana is our number one performer in this portfolio, but this is all as of late May till now. Phantom, Avalanche, Terra, Wax, Harmony, then Cosmos. Guys, Cosmos. Can't really say it enough. If you're not paying attention to Atom or the Cosmos ecosystem, you are cheating yourself. Polkadot is great, and the ecosystem is getting built up very, very rapidly. The market cap is higher, and that's nice, but you guys have heard me talk about a couple of things, right? Unit bias for the individual coin, and then relatively low market cap. Cosmos, in my opinion, at a $9 billion market cap, is probably undervalued. That means that the current, like if the market cap can sustain a maybe not a 10x, but if it can sustain a quadrupling or a quintupling so that it fills the same market cap as Polkadot, then that means that the coin value is going to go from $32 to over $100, somewhere close to the vicinity of $150, $160, right? So I think it really does have that kind of headroom. And I think that what's happening in the interblockchain ecosystem, IBC, I think it actually does merit a really solid parabolic move, almost like a slingshot at the end of the rest of this DeFi run up. So let me show you what I mean. Here on this, just in this ranking, guys. Again, their market cap, 9 billion. What else have we got here? Biggest winner, Solana, right there at almost 70 billion. And I'm talking about like doing 4 to 5x. That would still be below what Solana is right now by way of market cap, right? It would only be within the range of what Polkadot is doing. Now, mind you, Binance Smart Chain, or Binance rather, has a $100 billion market cap. It's not going anywhere. It's doing fine. And I don't think anything is going to displace it. But I think that if there's additional cash flowing into the market, or if there's reallocation from some of the more solid projects like Bitcoin and Ethereum, people are saying, hey, we want to take our profits and put it into something else, while it just like runs up at the very end, which has happened historically in a lot of these bull runs, right? Like Bitcoin and Ethereum lead the charge, or Bitcoin leads the charge. 28 days later, Ethereum pops off. And then after that, the alts go wild, right? So have your cameras out because it just gets crazy. I think part of that craziness is going to include Cosmos. Straight up. It just is. I think it's going to be one of those things to watch. Wax having crossed $1 billion also that's a warning shot, guys. And the unit bias, right? Being able to buy Wax at under $1 and people saying like, oh my gosh, it could go to $1 or back to $1. Go to $1. It could go to $5. It totally could, because it would still have a lower market cap than Cosmos at $5. There are going to be some people who just like very wisely say like, yeah, that's got headroom to run up, to just pop off, because the NFT projects there are amazing. Terra has got some great things going too. But again, if we just try to like kind of try to squeeze that market cap into something else that's kind of like already peaked earlier in this cycle, like Polkadot, then we can see like, we use it as a thought exercise, right? Not because this is, some kind of like gospel truth or whatever, but as a thought exercise, if we just ask ourselves, if we squeezed the Terra market cap into the Polkadot market cap, because it's already kind of peaked, what would that do to coin price? Well, it would, not quite triple it, right? Not quite. It'd be a little more than a doubling, about a 2.5x. So yeah, maybe Terra goes to $100. That could totally be possible. Like, I'm seeing that. You guys following, picking up what I'm throwing down here? Like, if we see those additional protocols adopted and the additional value locked on these networks, I think that the retail psychology of, market cap and coin price, I think that it'll follow too. Carlos Alme tunes in and says, un abrazo desde Bolivia. Hey, thank you so much. Gracias, compadre. Definitely appreciate you tuning in. Always nice when we have friends from other countries tuning in for the chat and for the conversation. So guys, I really do think that that's something to consider. Coin price, market cap, total value locked, and protocols on board. So we've got a few different data sources, right? TVL, market cap, protocols. There's a lot. I know it's a lot, but if you're interested in some of these things, then there's only a few of these coins that you need to target, and then get your feeds ready, and we can put all those into a spreadsheet. Should I do a spreadsheet of just that? Because I've been talking about it now for a few weeks, and I think that maybe a spreadsheet would help illustrate it a little bit better. So let me know if you like that. I can do that as a community exclusive just for members of the channel. I don't know if I'd want to do that publicly this time. YouTube just got this channel back into my possession, so I want to be really cautious about how I push the limits there, but I think I might want to do that as a community only video, right? So, but you tell me, guys, would that be interesting to you? Tell me in the chat. All right, guys, bottom of this list. Biggest loser right now is Internet Computer still. Moonriver has not entered yet. I will do that before our next live stream, but Internet Computer is still down bad. Doesn't show strong signs of recovery yet. There are bag holders though, so never say never. Junk drawer. Guys, this is where things are going to get really interesting. Saitama Inu. Oh, it's just punching faces still. If you would put $1,000 in, back in the day, you'd have over 1.4 million. Floki Inu, you'd have over 170,000. UFO Gaming, Luffy, Zio, Dojilon Mars, SafeMoon Inu, Shiba Inu, all doing phenomenally well. In fact, they're all doing better than Hex, the sort of previous king of the fundamental pumpamentals. It's so weird to even have to make that distinction now, because Hex is not a meme coin. I'm not here to shill it either, but kind of crazy to see that it's been vastly outperformed in the same time frame by some of these meme coins. They returned way higher multiples. Biggest loser as of right now looks like QuickSwap, but it's still at $350, and we did catch it on a significant trend downward when we first made its entry. Bone, Sushi, XSushi, Kishu Inu, some of the other like lesser known meme coins like Akita Inu and others, they're doing a lot worse. They're actually still in the red. But guys, I think I'm going to call it a day at that. Thank you so much for being tuned in to the very, very end. If you're not subscribed, be sure that you hit that subscribe button, click the bell icon so you're notified when the Gem Hunter content comes out. We'll be kicking things off tonight. That's right, tonight. So look for some Gem Hunter content on this channel at the end of the day today, and then we're looking at possibly doing 2-a-days, both tomorrow, the day before Thanksgiving, taking a break for Thanksgiving, and then 2 more on Black Friday. Very, very action-packed week. I will likely not go live until after that point, unless you guys want to see a little Thanksgiving morning live stream. We'll say hello, right? We'll touch base, guys. I missed you during yesterday. I had a bit of separation anxiety, so I will do my best to stay in contact with you over this holiday weekend. If I don't talk to you live before the weekend, be safe, have fun. Spend this time with friends and family. I hope that where you are in the world and where you are in the country, that you're able to do that and that you're able to really build some phenomenal memories with friends and family, guys. As always, guys, love your face. Remember to stay private and mind your biz. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. Be sure to check out mineyour.biz, where you can sign up for our email newsletter, where we're still ramping up content, but you will occasionally receive specials for flash sales and all kinds of other deals that we have going on the site. You can also check out our services page, where we offer consulting to projects that need it. You can pick up the Freedom Phone, which respects your privacy. You can pay for it in crypto and have it shipped to you anonymously, as well as getting merchandise that also is paid for with crypto. That's right, we practice what we preach, including, well, a Flux swag page. That's right. It's a dedicated page just for the team over at Flux Network, because we love them that much. Thanks for watching to the end. Thanks for being subscribed. You know I love your face. Be sure to stay private and mind your biz.